So we got a Europa League campaign off to a winning start last night, but it was far from pretty. Hello, my name is Richard and welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. Now, in this video, I just want to look back on last night's Europa League opener away against Rapid Vienna. Just before I get into all that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well, as it really does help it grow. If you've got any comments about the performance last night, about the match, about the team selection, about anything at all, please drop them in the comments box as well, because it is always nice to hear from you guys too. So last night then, it was not the greatest performance, if we're honest, was it? So I'm just going to go through it now in a little bit more detail, really. Just really wanted to start with obviously with the team lineup. Leno was in goal as expected. So I don't think Alex Renarson is quite ready yet for competitive football. So Leno started in goal. In the back three was pretty much as I predicted, actually. In my preview show the other day, it was David Luiz on the right, Gabriel in the centre, and Kolasinac on the left. Again, the midfield was pretty similar to what I'd sort of predicted as well. Cedric was the right wing back. Bukayo Saka was the left wing back, actually, and in the centre was El Neni, and making his first start for the club, of course, Thomas Partey, which we were all very excited about as well. Now the front three was interesting. Pepe was on the right, Lacazette was through the centre, and Eddie Nketiah was on the left. Now that was quite a controversial selection, and as we'll see as we go through it, it didn't perhaps really work either. If we go on the positives really to start with, obviously the one everybody wants to talk about is, of course, the full debut of Thomas Partey. I mean, what a performance that was. Absolutely outstanding. He just shows he's a complete midfield player, isn't he, in terms of winning the ball. He was driving forward with the ball. His passing was good. He was neat and tidy, read the game well. And he's exactly the sort of player that we've clearly been missing in our midfield for quite a number of years. Me personally, I'm really excited about seeing how he's going to develop with us now. But that's probably one of the most exciting debuts I've seen from an Arsenal midfield player, probably since Patrick Vieira, actually, if I'm honest. That's how long ago it's been since we've had a player to make that sort of an impact. And it's no surprise, really, is it? I mean, he's 27 years old. He's in his prime, and he's already, before he even joined us, he was known as being one of the greatest in the world in his position. So we shouldn't have been surprised by that debut. Magnificent performance from Thomas Partey. And also as well, I want to highlight our other new summer signing as well, Gabriel at the back, 21 years old, come obviously from a different league into a new country, settled in straight away. He's probably been our player of the season so far, in actual fact. Really, really solid again. So calm with the ball. He can bring the ball out of defence as well. He's a real footballing defender, isn't he? But he's also strong. And again, he reads the game so well. And those two additions in this summer transfer window have really strengthened the spine of the team. And I believe that over time, it's going to make us a really, really good side. Unfortunately, there wasn't really a lot of other positives to come out of the game other than the spirit that we showed in the end to come back from a goal down to win the game 2-1, those two quick goals in the second half. It was actually the substitutions that perhaps made the difference, wasn't it? Bringing on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and then Hector Bellerin, both came on at the same time, just after the hour mark. And they really did make the difference in the end, didn't they? Combining superbly for the winning goal. But really, up until then, as an attacking force, we'd been almost non-existent. Again, defensively, we're reasonably solid and sound, apart from when we try and play it out from the back. We still don't look completely comfortable doing it, especially, unfortunately, the goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. It was his mistake, of course, trying to pass it out from the back that led to them taking the lead. Of course, their striker, Fontes, I think his name was, the number 9, was a really, really dangerous player all night for us, actually. Caused us a lot of problems. He was very physical. He was very fast. And he was quite sharp as well. And he did take advantage of that mistake by Leno to give Vienna the lead just 5 minutes into the second half. And to be honest with you, we'd started the second half quite poorly, made a few sloppy mistakes. And of course, it was a mistake similar to that cost us the goal. And really, at that stage, it was looking as though we might well drop points in this opening Europa League game for the first time. Every other season we've been in the Europa League, of course, this was our 4th season. We've always won our opening game. but it was looking quite shaky. The referee actually in the first half seemed to be booking a lot of our players for very little. And letting the Vienna players get away with rather a lot. And then, of course, we did concede the goal. We almost conceded another goal again. It was a mistake from Leno, wasn't it, with his distribution. He managed to get away with that one. Again, it was that Fontas that had the opportunity, but it was a good save in the end from Leno, but very, very shaky. And I say it was only really when the substitutions came on, 61st minute it was, Aubameyang and Bellerin came on. And it wasn't that long afterwards when we did get the equaliser now. And Nicolas Pepe playing on the right-hand side had done very, very little until the 70th minute when he chased what looked like a lost cause, kept the ball in and almost set up a goal for Bukayo Saka. But when the ball was cleared out, Pepe again chased after it, won the ball back before being fouled out on the right-hand side, midway between the halfway line and the penalty area. Now, Pepe actually finally, for probably the first time this season, put in a decent set-piece delivery. It was a really good free kick. Teased the goalkeeper to come for it. He was never going to get there, and David Luiz arrived to head the ball in to bring us level. Very much a relief more than anything, I think, at that point, because that was, I think, our only second shot on target in the whole game up to that point. So, but it got us level, and it did give us a lift. And then I think it was three minutes later, it was actually that we completed the turnaround to go ahead. It was a really well constructed goal, actually. El Neni played a great ball inside the fullback. Bellerin timed his run to perfection, was able to drill the ball across a 6-yard box for Aubameyang to tap in to end his 4-game goal drought for us, equaling the longest drought he's had in an Arsenal shirt, to put us 2-1 up. A really well constructed goal. But that was pretty much the only decent move we managed to put together in the attacking third of the pitch. I get the feeling, actually, that Arteta has the transition. You can see that we are now a lot more difficult to break down. We're not as open. We're a lot more solid, apart from, I say, when we're playing it out from the back. But we're not conceding as many chances as we used to. We're not conceding as many goals. But the attacking side of our game really does need to improve if we're going to be able to really push on this season. You know, we've been getting away with it up till now. There's been a few 2-1 victories that we've ground out. This was another one of those. You can't question the commitment or the drive of the team to come back from behind. Really good spirit that they're showing. But unfortunately, for a lot of these games, that the quality in the final third is where we're lacking. Defensively, we're okay. Midfield, we're looking good now. Partey's going to make a massive difference. I thought El Neni played pretty well last night, actually, alongside him. But maybe we're missing the slightly more creative talents of Dani Ceballos, who, of course, was injured. So we'll see what difference maybe he makes when he comes back in. Or even Granit Xhaka, who, of course, can pick out a pass as well. So we'll see how that develops. But it is in the final third that we are lacking. We seem to be lacking quality, which shouldn't be the case because we've got good quality players. Of course, last night, the experiment of playing Eddie Nketiah on the left of the front three just didn't work. Didn't suit him at all. It's almost pointless playing a player like that in that position. He's a goal scorer. He's a centre forward. He needs to be in the middle, getting on the end of things. That's where he's dangerous. That's where he does a great job for the team. That's where he's done a great job, you know, for the England under-21s as well. So it was very much a surprise to see him playing on the left wing, actually. And it clearly didn't work. And quite why the change wasn't made a little bit earlier, I don't know. I would probably have been tempted to have taken Lacazette off, actually, and moved Eddie into the centre, give him a run there. Lacazette was quite ineffective throughout most of the game anyway. So there's issues there in the front three. It's maybe finding the right balance, finding the right blend that's going to work. And also maybe just taking a few more risks. I think with Thomas Partey in the midfield now, I think we can afford to do that. Mikel Arteta almost mentioned that himself, didn't he, when he was talking in his post-match press conference about the way in the second half that Thomas Partey was basically holding the midfield together to allow other players to go forward. And maybe we need to start doing that a little bit earlier in games now. Take games to the opposition, get ourselves in front early on and kill the game off, as opposed to staying in the game for as long as we can and then trying to win it in the closing stages, which at the moment we're getting away with a little bit. But how long that can continue for, I don't know. It's certainly not great watch, is it? You know, we're not playing free-flowing football at all, and there does still seem to be a disconnection between the midfield and the attack. Thomas Partey hopefully is going to address that, and I say there was certainly real promising signs last night with that performance, but it's still going to take some work, isn't it? And maybe on a training ground you can see how much they've worked on the defensive side of the game, particularly when we don't have the ball. But now it's a matter of having a little bit more quality in the final third and maybe taking a few more risks, committing a few more bodies forward, and taking a chance in some of these games. I don't think we're going to keep getting away with it the way we have done maybe in 3 or 4 games already this season. So not the greatest performance, but let's give credit to the players for showing some great spirit and a great comeback. Of course, let's enjoy Thomas Partey's fantastic debut. Gabriel as well. David Luiz, I thought, had a solid game. The rest of them were pretty much off the pace. I say, obviously, Aubameyang and Bellerin made a big impact from the bench. So in a way, it was just good to get that game out of the way. Again, we've won our opening group game, and that is probably going to be our toughest game. They were a decent side. They worked hard. They were physical. They made a lot of tactical fouls to disrupt our flow. So we came out of it with a victory. And I think that's a good victory for us now. It sets us up nicely for the rest of the group. Hopefully, we can go on now and win this group and get through. I don't see any reason why we can't now. But we do need to start playing better, don't we? Certainly in an attacking sense. I'd say maybe a few more risks need to be taken at times during the game. Commit a few more men forward. Give the opposition defence a little bit more to worry about, because last night was typical of this season so far. The defence, we're not working them hard enough for most of the game. We're stringing together a couple of decent moves here and there, which is getting us out of jail a little bit. But it's not quite enough, is it, for we need to put some sustained amount of pressure on teams a little bit more. I don't want to go too much over the Bernd Leno thing and Martinez and all that kind of stuff, which obviously social media was going mad for last night. Yes, Leno looked shaky last night with the ball at his feet. But let's make no mistakes about it. He's a good goalkeeper. He's a good shot stopper. He's our number one now anyway, deservedly so. So we need to forget that and move on. Martinez has gone. He's doing well at Aston Villa. Good luck to him. But Leno's a decent goalkeeper. And yes, he made a terrible mistake last night. He made 2 or 3 bad mistakes last night. Got away with a couple of them. But he's still a good goalkeeper. Let's not get on his back. He needs to be supported when he has a bad game like anybody else. Aubameyang hasn't scored for 4 games. Tonight came good, and Leno will come good as well. So just bear that in mind before we start criticising everybody. So that's that there then for last night's match review. I say not the greatest game, but we won. So we need to look at the positives if we can. There wasn't a lot of them, I suppose. But now we move on, of course, to Sunday. Big Premier League game, massive Premier League game actually against Leicester, where we are going to have to play a lot better, aren't we, if we are going to get the 3 points in that game. I'll be putting up a preview of that game either later on today, or it might go out tomorrow morning. And of course, tonight I'm actually speaking to Jamie from Leicester Fan TV ahead of that game as well, just to go over, preview that match and look at a few other issues in football, and obviously to get a Leicester perspective on everything as well, which will be really good. That's 6 o'clock tonight on this channel, so stay tuned for that. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you like what I'm doing, click that subscribe button. If you like this video as well, please give it a thumbs up as well, because it does help it to grow. And please let me know your thoughts on last night's game. Clearly wasn't the greatest game, was it? Wasn't the greatest performance, but a win's a win. We move on to Sunday. Hopefully we can get another 3 points, but I do want to see us play slightly more exciting football, if I'm honest. It's difficult to feel too excited about the games at the moment, but of course Thomas Partey coming in, he might be the guy that makes a difference, because last night he was fantastic. It really was party time, and let's hope he can continue this form and keep improving the team, because it's definitely what we need. So that's that for now then. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll say some great stuff coming up over this weekend as we head towards a big game on Sunday. Don't forget the show tonight at 6 o'clock. And in the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners!